Support for this podcast comes from listeners and St. Alphonsus Health System, a regional network of hospitals, clinics, and care providers. St. Alphonsus offers comprehensive healthcare services to individuals and families throughout the community. More information about services and locations is available at stalphonsus.org.
At the Boise Art Museum right now, there are almost 1,000 hand-painted plates on display. The blue and white dishes show detailed illustrations of comfort foods like spaghetti and pancakes and hamburgers, the last meals of death row inmates.
You have to wonder what kind of life they lived for that to be the case.
I'm Julie Luqueta. Find my report and pictures of the Last Supper exhibit at boisestatepublicradio.org.
From Boise State Public Radio, this is The Connector. It's Idaho's Daily News. Good morning. I'm George Prentice. Is there a chance to save Obamacare subsidies? We have that story coming up. Plus, tomorrow's a pretty big day for Idaho homeowners. It is Friday, the 19th of December. Here we go with today's stories. Idaho U.S. Senator Mike Crapo says there may be some daylight to see some kind of health care reform. That's while there is wide disagreement, not just between political parties, but within political parties. All that while Obamacare subsidies are about to evaporate. Crapo is the chairman of the U.S. Senate Finance Committee. Earlier this week, he was included in a group of senators from both parties that huddled on Capitol Hill behind closed doors to discuss a possible compromise. And now the Hill is reporting that Crapo says that while there may be some GOP pushback, he wants to keep channels open. Crapo told the Hill, quoting here, "I am willing to negotiate. That's what I'm doing." The Hill says that negotiation could be a possible extension of the subsidies for a fixed amount of time while lawmakers try to craft broader reforms to reduce costs. GOP Senator Roger Marshall of Kansas puts a finer point on it. Healthcare is the defining issue of this Congress. It is going to be the defining issue of this next election. The future of Idaho's Medicaid expansion program is up for debate this morning in Boise. James Dawson has this preview.
The Idaho DOGE Task Force has already floated the idea of eliminating Medicaid expansion in the state as a way to save millions of taxpayer dollars. State lawmakers budgeted $91.7 million from the general fund for the program in the current fiscal year. Federal tax dollars cover 90% of the bill. Nearly half of the roughly 81,000 people enrolled under Medicaid expansion work, but earn too much to qualify for traditional Medicaid coverage. Ever since voters opted into the expansion program with 61% of the vote in 2018, GOP lawmakers have debated repealing it or limiting participation. Any repeal or tweak to the program would need approval from both the legislature and Governor Brad Little. The task force will take up the issue at 9 a.m. this morning at the Idaho Capitol. James Dawson, Boise State Public Radio News.
Saturday is the deadline for Idahoans to pay at least the first half of their 2025 property taxes. One note, though, since the deadline falls on a Saturday, most counties will be accepting payments through December 22nd without additional charges. For payments received after December 22nd, the counties will assess a 2% late charge and begin assessing a 1% monthly interest charge beginning January the 1st. Boise State is set to celebrate its winter graduation tomorrow. More than 2,600 Boise State students will take part in the 117th commencement. All in, there will be nearly 3,300 degrees and certificates to be handed out. There will be two ceremonies at Extra Mile Arena. At 10 a.m., it will be graduation for the colleges of Business and Economics, Education, and Health Sciences. And then at 3 p.m. tomorrow, it will be the ceremonies for the colleges of Arts and Science, Engineering, Innovation and Design, and the School of Public Service. In sports, the Idaho Steelheads are back on home ice tonight. They're coming off a win over the Rapid City Rush on Wednesday. The same two teams are back on the ice tonight at Idaho Central Arena. The puck drops just after 7 p.m. Don't be surprised to see some special guests on the Zamboni. And that is today's episode of The Connector. I'm George Prentice, off to do some Christmas shopping, so I'll see you back here on Monday to stay in touch with the news. Between now and then, check out BoiseStatePublicRadio.org and tell your friends and family about The Connector and how they can find it anywhere they find their favorite podcasts. For now, to you, happy holidays, and thanks for listening.
Looking for another podcast to listen to? Check out The Nature of Idaho from our partner station KISU in Eastern Idaho. Join hosts Peter Pruitt and Dr. Leif Tapanilla as they share fascinating stories from the Gem State's great outdoors, celebrating Idaho's wildlife, landscape, and natural wonders. That's The Nature of Idaho from KISU. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.